Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the Marvel Universe Galactus and all of his heralds from Marvel Legends. Now let's get to it. The most interesting thing about the Fallen One is he has this head sculpt that is screaming. Yeah, it's okay, I guess, for the head. I wish there was a alternate head that had him not screaming, but it's fine, I guess. The paint is okay and done pretty well for the figure. There's some weird kind of splotching going on over here for some reason, and that kind of sucks. That's a shame. The back of the head is luckily way cooler. It's a cosmic starfield that looks awesome. I love the little speckles. It's blue. I wish there was a bit of purple in there too, but this is nice, I guess. Kind of reminds me of Hades from Hercules. It's a really neat head sculpt that is awesome and doesn't get enough to love it deserves. The body is unfortunately really bland, and we've seen it before. I don't know why it comes with holding hands either over here. That kind of sucks. Yeah, it's a bummer of a body. That's just okay. I think it's the Green Reaper one too, so watch out when you move the arms. Just be careful with that. As far as accessories goes, he comes with two holding hands that are just okay. This one swivels and hinges pretty well, but this one doesn't really swivel. It hinges okay though. That's a shame. I won't really be using these hands though. These fists are way better. I can swivel and then hinge them to my liking. They work really well and are awesome fists. Yeah, they're great, especially with the next accessory. He comes with these bubbly wobbly. He comes with these bubble effects we've seen a million times before. They're alright, I guess. They have little speckles in them and are blue, just like his hair. It's nicely done. I think some of the better bubble effects parts we've seen from Hasbro. As far as articulation goes for the Fallen One, the head goes left and then right and then back. No, not really at all because of the hair. Forward pretty nicely. That's good. You do get a crunch down here, crunch back here, swivel over here. You also get the arm going up. You have to push it down so it doesn't scratch and then go in. That's fine, I guess. Go all the way around. Watch out for that hair. You get a swivel over here, a double jointed pinned elbow right there, and you do get splits. Not really that far. That kind of sucks. Up this far really nicely, actually. I like how far this goes up, and back pretty okay, I would think. Back this far, not really that great, and then swivel up here, very tight on that. Swivel down here, pretty loose on that. Down and up and then pivot, pretty tough joint on that. And two pickles upon the feet. Definitely just an okay figure to fill out your roster of Galactus Heralds. He's alright, I guess. He's fine. I really like the head sculpt for Terax. It looks awesome. He's bald up top with a lot of good detail for his face. The raised eyebrow is great. The lowered eyebrow is really awesome. The teeth are not painted as well as they should be though, which is kind of a shame. But I do like the sort of chin strap that they give into his beard. And the bald head is nice and intimidating. I really like how it looks too. That paint for his neck as well. It's a very well done face sculpt, and on that nose is pretty funny too. The body has a really cool overlay in sort of a pinkish red that looks really great. I like the muted gold as well. And the dark blue is really nice too. He has a really dark color for his skin tone. That's really great. I like how the colors kind of mesh well together as a more darker look for this character, as we'll see a little bit later on. As far as the legs and belt go, he has a sort of skirt-like loincloth. It looks awesome. I love the white detail on this. It looks really great. If they add a little bit more, I think, to the figure, it would be awesome. They did add some on the arms, none on the head though. It's kind of a shame. But going down to the legs and boots, he does have some really nice kind of little gauntlet over here, covering his boot a little bit, and that color's nice over here. He works well as far as color scheme goes. Really good figure. As far as accessories goes, he comes with an axe, Terax axe. It kind of works that way. It's really interesting and a cool piece. I love the wash on the handle. It's really well done, and the blade is nice, but there are little molding points on one side versus the other, so display them how you'd like. I'm glad they did it this way instead because of the hand that holds it. And that hand holds it very well, albeit at a little angle, but it looks really nice anyways. Super cool. It fits in very well. As far as articulation goes for Terax, he is one of the first Build-A-Figures, at least this mold is, so I'll give him a little bit of leeway. Left and right on the head. You go back this far, not really that much. Forward this far, not really that much. This thing gets in the way a little bit, and we'll see it get in the way a lot more. Back this far, not really that much, with this thing holding the belt together, and forward this far, pretty okay. Pushing this piece out. It is kind of a strange build. You don't really get much articulation out of it without sort of snapping this off or breaking it off, but it can easily be put back on, as you can see over here. You do get up this far and down with the arm, and around all the way. You get a swivel over here, single jointed elbow, fine for the times, I guess. Swivel over here with up this far and down this far, and then up this far and down this far with this hand, and swivel over here. This paint isn't really that great, I gotta say anyways. You do get a little bit of swivel over here while sacrificing this thing. This thing could have been done in any number of different ways. You get out this far with these weird Y-joint legs. They're kind of strange, and down and down. You go up this far pretty nicely and back really far very nicely with this leg as well. Swivel up here with a double jointed knee, going just okay for that. Swivel at the boot, very nice. Down and then up and then pivot with two pay goals at the bottom of the feet. This is an older figure mold hampered by the articulation of the times for a larger figure of its size. This piece over here is the biggest point of contention, but I do like how he looks. It's how he poses that will stand the real test of time. He isn't that great. I would love some kind of redo eventually. That probably will only happen maybe in like 5 years or so. Here's the Fallen One next to Terax, and they look pretty in scale with each other. The Fallen One stands at about 6.5 inches tall, while Terax himself towers at around 7.25 inches tall. I really like how these figures look together. It's a shame that the Fallen One is so bland though, but that hair kind of makes up for it, and Terax is as cool as always. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. You come with 2 holding hands and you can't even hold the axe? Geez, no wonder you're screaming all the time. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Firelord has an awesome head sculpt. I really love how this looks. The eyebrows are all flaming, the eyes are gold, the mouth has some pretty cool red kind of lipsticky looking thing, and his skin is orange. That's awesome. I love how his face looks. The hair is great too. It has some darker orange leading to some lighter orange over here. It is fantastic. Swirling around at a point, it's amazing and looks wonderful for the character. He has a V-neck coming down to a weird white belt that's pretty neat. It's yellow over here going to some orange. We also have more orange on the sides over here and some red on the bottoms of his hands, kind of like gloves in a way. They're very nicely done, and the back is really cool too, with a peg just in case. I don't know what this stuff is. It's kind of weird. Maybe it wasn't painted right or something, but it looks pretty cool and flaming and crackling. The legs are your standard Marvel Legends legs. They are on fire, just like his hands. That's pretty cool. At least his feet are nicely done, and the paint is pretty cool too. As far as accessories goes, he comes with 2 fists that can swivel and then hinge. The joints are really gummy on this figure, by the way, so just be careful about that, but at least the hands swivel and hinge really well. He also comes with 2 holding hands that are pretty neat. They are your regular old bog standard holding hands for Marvel Legends. They swivel and hinge very nicely, and they're pretty cool. These holding hands wield his fire staff that has 2 palms on the end, I guess. They're pretty neat and look awesome. There probably is a certain end to it in the beginning, but I do think they look really nice otherwise. You can twist them a little bit on the staff, which is pretty cool. Have them be both up, which looks nice for this. It's a great piece. It looks wonderful. This isn't really as gold as it looks on real life, but I find it looks really nice otherwise. Great piece and looks wonderful in his hands. As far as articulation goes for Firelord, it is the same as other figures, but his head does go left and right and then back and forward, and it's got some nice pivot out of that. At least he does have butterfly joints too. That's really nice, and the rest is your bog standard Marvel Legends articulation, but it's incredibly gummy, maybe because of the heat or because he's on fire. Yeah, that's it. Morg has a really cool head sculpt. I love the cocky grin he has. His eyes are very nicely done, and those bumps are amazing. I love how it looks. The hair comes down, and it looks nice, but it doesn't really have too much shading or anything. Maybe some darker, slightly darker gray, but that's basically it. It also looks like it's kind of coming off of his head. Anyways, not really well done that well, but the face makes up for it rather than the hair. The body is where it's at with this figure. I really love all the different pebbles on him, looking really nice. He has a lot of spikes everywhere on his arms, looking really amazing and pretty devilish. I love this double spike blade on his arm. Really nice touch. Has some really cool sort of C portions back here. Looking wonderful and great. I love this thing. It's excellent. The belt is pretty cool too, but I just love the texture of his skin, and the slight wash they give him really brings it all out. Excellent. My only complaint is they could have given him some extra hands. That'd be nice, but what he comes with is probably a little bit better. And the legs are your bog standard legs, so you get to that silver portion on the bottom, and it is so wickedly awesome and cool. I love these boots. They're excellent. Very overdone and flagrant, just like the face. I really love how this guy is just cocky to the core. It's excellent. The spikes are great, very medieval, and super overblown. Excellently done. As far as accessories goes, Morg comes with an axe that fits really nicely into his hand. Both hands even. This hand isn't a fist, it's a holding hand, but it looks wonderful and excellent. Probably one of my favorite axes for action figures, at least. I wish we could have a bunch more of these. It's really cool and awesome. More, please. As far as articulation goes for Morg, the head isn't really that posable. The hair gets in the way a lot. You do go left and right a little bit. You can kind of move the hair out of the way somewhat, but mostly you don't get back that far, and forward not really that much. The hair does get in the way too. Going up this far to the spike over here and down, and you can go all the way around with him. You do get a swivel over here. You get a double jointed elbow. Mine's loose for some reason. I'm not sure if that's with every copy or not, but it works really nicely. You do get the up and down hinge for this hand and a swivel over here, and you also get a different hinge, the side to side hinge at least, and a swivel. These are very gummy, so they're very pliable reliable. You can move them around, which is great. You also get a swivel over here and back this far, or this far, and side to side crunching as well, all the way around. It's on a ball joint. You do get splits this far really well. You also get up this far and back pretty far with a double jointed pinless knee. Going okay. I think this, really overblown boot really gets in the way, but I still love it. Swivel over here. No swivel at the boot, sadly. That's weird. Down, and then up. Maybe a swivel down there? Nope, not really. And then a pivot, and then two big holes on the feet. Definitely a really nice figure. Could use some more articulation and some fists. That would be great, but the next figure really takes the cake when it comes to accessories. But I do love Morg, and he looks awesome and just incredibly insane with how overblown he is, especially with the axe. Nova has a pretty okay head sculpt. It's fine, I guess. I think it's a redo of a bunch of other Marvel Legends, but it is in gold, and her hair really does steal the show. I do like, though, the profile. It's really nicely done, as are the paint apps on it. It's pretty cool, but that hair is insane. Look at this. It is like a forest fire. Phenomenal, beautiful, and wonderful. This is excellent. It's awesome. It does make her a little heavy, but you can balance it out. But just look at that detail and the color and shine. It is excellently done and just epic. Great piece. The body is all done in gold. We've seen this before a million times. The articulation isn't really anything to be that impressed about. I do like how it looks, though. It's very nice and pretty cool. It's a great piece, and it's just wonderful on the shelf or in the hands of Galactus. But yeah, this is just very well done as far as the gold's concerned. I like it a lot. As far as accessories go, she comes with these two spread out hands that we've seen a million times before, but I still like them a lot. You can swivel and then hinge pretty well, and they work really nice and they're neat. She also comes with a pair of fists that we've seen before in Marvel Legends. These small, tiny little fists are pretty cool. You can swivel and then hinge. They work fine and are good fists. And bafflingly enough, she comes with these holding hands. For some reason, I'm not sure what she's supposed to be holding here. That's kind of weird. I wish that she came with some fire effects or something. They do swivel and then hinge, or even maybe take these hands out and put in some new fists for Morg. As far as articulation goes for Frankie Ray Nova, the head is very hard to move. I can only swivel it here, and trying to move the hinge doesn't really work. You can look down this much from here, though, and up this much from here. It's kind of a shame because you can pivot a lot, though, but I'm not really going to be having her move her head around all that dynamically because this hair is really heavy, so I'm glad this is kind of not moving at all. The rest of the body we've seen before. There are double-jointed pinless tech arms and double-jointed pinless tech legs, and they look really great. This figure is just stunning. The best part about the figure for me, accessories-wise, is this flame flight stand. That's amazing. I love how it looks. Reminds me a lot of her hair over here. It is super well done and does fit into the hand of the HasLab Galactus, and that's awesome. The points down here kind of curl into his palm, I would believe, or his fingers, and that's just amazing. I really love how this is. It's wonderful. The flames are wrapping around her foot a little bit, and they wrap around her leg, holding her in so she doesn't jostle around everywhere that much. There is a spot to actually put her foot in, but I didn't really need to. You just sort of let her nestle in there and pose her until she looks really great. Excellently done for this. It is a phenomenal piece. I love how this looks. It matches her hair really well, and it just sells the figure for me. Incredible and perfection. As far as height comparisons goes, Firelord stands at about 6¼ inches tall or so. Morg at about 6¼ inches tall once again. Nova standing at about 6 inches tall or so. Her stand at about 4½ inches tall, with Firelord's staff at about 5 inches tall or so. They all look like really nice figures and are great for Heralds for Galactus. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Ah yes, Morg, the flames of love. I hear they're going to burn down a rainforest for their honeymoon. Yeah, that's what happens when you put tinder on a Kindle. You make an Amazon fire. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. We've seen the Silver Surfer before in the Marvel Legends exclusives video I've done, the Dark Silver Surfer, with a different paint job though. This one is really chrome, metallic, lovely looking. I like how it looks excellent and really great. Silver Surfer's body is similar to his Herald mate Firelord. It does not have that peg on the back though, but it does have all the articulation bells and whistles. Looking really nice here. My only issue is that the paint may crack over time, as I believe this is all painted on instead of sculpted on, but time will tell how that works, and I'm just being gentle in the meantime. As far as accessories goes, he comes with two fists that are the same as we've seen with every other figure. Swivel, hinge. It's fine and works very well, and I like them a lot. He comes with two closed finger hands for some surfing, dude. They're pretty cool. They can swivel and hinge like every other hand and work really well. That's awesome. And he comes with two splayed hands that work really well with open fingers, looking very nice. This is basically the Spider-Man hand mold. Looks great, and I like it a lot. They're pretty cool. He does come with two sort of magical cosmic effects that look really cool. They do have sparkles in them too and fit really nicely on his arms. They're super neat pieces and I'm glad to have them in the collection. We've seen this board before. It looks awesomer than ever in this nice sort of vacuum chrome sort of silver. It's wonderful. It looks great. Has a little peg. You could fit Surfer on it. It's just amazing. With that peg, you can pose him on the board very nicely. It works out really well and he fits expertly on it. Swivel him around a little bit for a little bit off-board action, but him staying on the board is the key factor here. It looks wonderful. You can give it a variety of poses and it's just super cool, man. Dude. For size, Silver Surfer stands at about 6¼ inches tall, with his board being at about 7½ inches tall. They look really great together, being a counterpart of Dark and Light, the Dark Silver Surfer with purple effects being on the left, and the Light Silver Surfer with yellow effects on the right. They both look wonderful in their own respect and are awesome! And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Oh yeah! Huh. You guys may be the Silver Surfers, but I'm the Silver Skier! Woohoo! Galactus' head is huge, impressive, and electronic, as we'll see later. It is really nicely done. I love the little baubles on top. The face is very well painted and excellent. The eyes are very dark and sinister with a hint of malice. He looks wonderful. His little pipes are really great over here. And the strange magnet-looking headdress is insanely cool. This is an amazing head sculpt and looks awesome. From the back, it looks way cooler with a lot of translucent material and a lot of doodads and screw ports hidden in here. It just looks excellent. It's like a giant brain. It's wonderful. The body and arms are really cool. If you notice carefully, you'll see a button right over here. That'll come into play later on. The arms are nice. They're blue and kind of magenta. He has a glove kind of gauntlet that looks really neat, and the hands are very well done as well, for both sides at least. Just excellent for this figure. The little dress thing on the bottom is excellent and super cool, and yeah, back then you wouldn't make fun of him for wearing a dress, and you certainly wouldn't now, but this kilt thing is just great. It's more of a kilt than a dress, actually. There's a speaker in the back too, and electronics in the back. You can actually take off this little harness back here for battery port access to get access to that, and just easily port it back very simply if you don't have butterfingers like me at least. But this is just a really well done piece that deserves a lot of credit. Putting electronics into an action figure is not something that I'm a big fan of, but for this guy I think I'll make an exception. I have to anyways, or he'd eat me. The legs are pretty bog standard and boring all the way around. They're just your regular legs! Ugh! The legs are very bog standard and boring, basically blue all the way around. It's very ho-hum and not really that interesting at all. But on the bottom of that below are the boots that are pretty neat and tie into the gloves very well. They're excellent little pieces and just look awesome. They're very bulgy, bulky, springy, and wonderfully done. I love how they look. As far as accessories goes, he doesn't really come with anything except for a really cool voice feature that I will demonstrate here. Press this button and he talks. It's a pretty cool voice. I like how it sounds. Let's give a listen. As far as articulation goes for Galactus, turning the head is pretty simple, just twist left and right. It is on a ball joint, so you can get a nice range of motion up this far, down this far, some nice pivoting too. I think it's attached to wires, so it is a little slow to move, but it gets the job done really well. The shoulder can move up this far, and it's very nice detents. It works really well. You also can swivel it pretty nicely all the way around. Swivel the bicep all the way around as well. He has a pseudo double jointed elbow that moves up this far and then up all the way this far. You have to really kind of put some elbow grease into that and down, and then swivels here all the way around on a ball joint, once again like the head. It's pretty nice and different from Marvel Legends. I kind of like it. It works well for the figure. The body articulation isn't all that great. It can only swivel, but that's about it. I believe it has to do with a bunch of the electronics inside. For the upper legs, you can't really move them out that far. You can move them up a little bit and back a little bit. They do twist and swivel very well. The knee going up this far and then back pretty far. It's a really hard joint to move and doesn't want to move that much. This is all I can get out of it, sadly, and that's kind of a shame. It's a very weird, unwieldy figure to work and very hard to move. You do get a swivel out of the boot. That's pretty simple to move, and then getting the foot to move is down this much and then up this far, and that's basically it, with not really that much pivot. And as far as peg holes, you get a cool design, but no peg holes, but all the stuff is on the back. I think on both feet too, all the legalese and numbers and whatnot and everything. That's nuts. For as large a figure as this, I would expect them not to really focus on articulation that much, but they did a pretty good job, all things considered. He's really nice and super cool. Well, not his personality anyways. And here is Galactus with all of his heralds: Morg, Terax, Thor, Fallen One, Silver Surfer Tall, Silver Surfer Short, Nova, and Firestar, and they all look really nice together and wonderful. I did not get the Marvel HasLab Galactus just because it was way too tall for my collection, and this Galactus can barely fit in anyways, being stored away until this review. He is excellently done, beautifully made, and looks super awesome, and I'm not even mad about the voice gimmick. Galactus himself does stand at, let's see, 12 inches tall up to around here or so, and the remaining height is around 8 or so inches tall, so he comes to around maybe 19, 20 inches tall, as the box says, and he is just a fantastic looking figure. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Wait, so it's all not true? You don't need planets? It's all a lie? Because I thought all the heralds were just your accomplices needing these planets. What you really do, you're saying, is that you call us little bunny rabbits and our name is George, and you pet us and pet us and pet us and pet. Overall, the might of Galactus. The Fallen One isn't really that great. I would skip him if it weren't for just filling out the ranks of Galactus. Terax is a good figure too, an improvement over the previous, yet this one isn't that great either as far as articulation goes. Firelord is kind of dumb to me. Nova fills in his role anyways. Honestly, that weird limbo stick is kind of funny too. What is he, a fire dancer? Morg is where it's at. The great sculpt, paint, accessory, articulation, he's got it all. What Nova lacks in articulation, she brings forth in flash and pizzazz, an awesome and really cool figure. Silver Surfer is one of the core characters I think of when I think of Marvel. The first Marvel Select figure I got was Silver Surfer, so this one is a trip down memory lane for me, but better. And as someone who never got the huge Marvel Legends Galactus, this Marvel Universe Galactus just fits in fine. The articulation may not be the best of the best, but him standing around commanding his heralds is all I really need. The lights and sounds are a really big bonus, and the sculpt and paint are really great on him. If you're a fan of Marvel Legends, Marvel Universe, or Galactus and the Cosmic Heralds, you'll love these figures. They're really cool. I wouldn't recommend too many heralds or the huge Galactus. Get this one. They're really great, especially if you're on a budget. But make no mistake, Galactus is coming. He's on his way to Earth and a theater near you. So which Galactus Herald here is your favorite? Or is it Galactus himself? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.